Hi, I'm Marco.
And I'm Lynda. He's a brown belt in Jiu-Jitsu.
And she's a purple belt. And this is Speakeasy Jiu-Jitsu.
Jiu-Jitsu.
Today's video is on sideline coaching.
What is sideline coaching?
Sideline coaching can mean like a lot of things. It could be a teammate that's coaching you while you're rolling or sparring with another teammate. Maybe one who's not qualified to coach you.
So like a lower rank?
Yeah, it could be like lower rank or even someone the same rank.
Okay.
It could also mean that like a parent is on the side coaching their kids, maybe coaching them wrong. If you're not a coach, you shouldn't be coaching anyways. That's just, it's not okay. It could also be a friend at a tournament coaching you from the side, and maybe they don't train either. Yeah.
Do the thing where you win!
Yeah.
When is sideline coaching wrong?
So if I'm wrestling with a teammate and let's say I'm a white belt or a blue belt and a fellow white belt or blue belt is coaching me from the side and I'm stuck in a triangle, that's where you have the legs wrapped around your arm, is stuck inside, and they start saying drive into them and you're going to get swept, or they're saying pick them up. You never know what another white belt or blue belt's going to say, because they might not know, or even if they do know, they might be coaching you wrong. It's better just to tap and get out of the situation, ask a coach later, if your coach isn't watching you and coaching you already. It can put you in dangerous situations, and also if you are the type of person to yell out things at your teammates, don't, just stop, because you can get somebody hurt, and you can also be teaching them wrong. Another way that somebody can be coaching wrong would be if I'm teaching an armbar in class, and then I say, okay guys, go drill it, and then they start giving them tips or pointers, and they don't know what they're talking about. Or maybe they do know what they're talking about because they saw it on YouTube, but I don't think that qualifies you to teach a technique to your teammate. One thing that drives me crazy is when you're going through a technique with your partner's like, hey, this is the way I like to do it. And it's like it totally contradicts something that like your coach might have said. Right. Now coaches do teach different. Between me, Professor John, and Professor Matt, it could vary a little bit. Right. Usually if we're teaching one thing throughout the week, it's very consistent. If you ask me something on the side, like, hey, what do you do when this person does this?
Like for your personal opinion.
Yes, it might be completely different than what Professor John shows or what Professor Matt shows. Right. It's not always going to be the same between teachers. But usually through the week, the things will be the same. Now, if you have somebody in the class that's showing something different, that can be very frustrating for the coaches.
Right.
Because it's not fair to your teammates because you don't know how to teach. Yeah. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had somebody do that to you, like try to show you something else?
No, but I have heard from teammates around me who's trying to teach something incorrectly or not to the technique that was being taught to us. Yeah. And I had to go in and be like, hey, you're not supposed to actually do that. You're supposed to grab this arm. It was something really basic too, like grabbing the wrong arm. Yeah. Something you don't know how to do it, then you won't tell them what to do.
I think it's a little different if you're drilling, you're in the class, and I'm busy with somebody teaching somebody else, and you get up to go help correct them. Because you're a coach. Right. We've just taught this to the other class before, and so even though it's your time to learn, you can still go and help because you've seen me teach it and you've also taught it yourself. So there's people who you can take instruction from in class, and there's people who you shouldn't, right? But you don't want to be rude. You don't want to be like, hey,
I don't trust you.
I don't believe your opinions. You could just be like, hey, let's stick to the plan. Let's stick to coach didn't say it was that way, or
let's ask him about it.
Yeah, or call the coach over. Yeah, like really get the coach's opinion on what's going on. I mean, to some blue belts' credit, or even white belts and purple belts, I've learned stuff from students. So like, oh wait, I've never seen that before, and then I have to go ask my coaches, or maybe I do my own research. Yeah. You can learn from anybody. I just think in specific situations, you should focus on people who are teaching. So in my class, the way it's structured is I'm the head instructor of the fundamentals classes, and Coach Lynda assists me during those classes. And usually everything that we show in that class, we've shown in the classes beforehand, especially like in the older kids class or even in the morning classes. And so she's very familiar with the material that I'm showing. She's a purple belt, and so I feel like she's totally capable of showing or going over with the student what I just went over, right? And I feel like I'm capable too.
I would hope so. I'm
teaching the class.
Learning from you.
Yeah, I learned this on YouTube, guys.
All right, let's go. I believe in it. I believe in it.
One particular incident that drove me crazy was I was showing the class what to do with the armbar from the closed guard.
Okay.
And you trap the forearm, you swing the leg around the head, you extend and you get the armbar. This student that went on to coach his partner, I could tell he wasn't paying attention when I was teaching. He was like picking his toes. This is an adult. And then he went to go on and instruct his partner, and he's grabbing the wrong arm. Like, he's telling his partner to grab the opposite arm. So he throws the leg over the head, but he has this arm. It's like, you're not going for an omoplata. Yeah. We're trying to get the arm bar, and he's like trying to tell the person to extend. The thumb's facing the wrong way. Like, all this stuff, and that kind of drives me crazy. Just call me over if you're not sure. Yeah, be like, hey, I think it's this way, but let's call coach over. Raise your hand and I'll see you, or you'll see them, and we'll go over and we'll make sure that everything's okay. It's not okay to instruct somebody like that.
Maybe he was doing it on purpose, so he didn't actually learn how to do the armbar.
Maybe.
No threat at all during live room.
I feel like once you're purple belt, you've seen enough to sort of give pointers in class if the coach is distracted. So like if it's just you and your partner, like, hey, you've been doing jiu-jitsu long enough, probably about 6 years at that point, like you know enough to be able to help coach. Some blue belts too that help with like the kids classes or stuff like that, they might even be qualified to say like, hey, but those are people that I trust. Not everybody can do that, especially not white belts.
No.
Yeah, I've seen some open mat sessions, like I've gone to open mats and even at our school, and I'll see people, because they're allowed to work on whatever they want. Mm-hmm. This is the only time you're allowed to be like, hey, let's work on what I want to work on or what you want to work on. And they're showing like double leg takedowns, so they're showing like omoplatas, and everything is just so I'm pulling my hair out and scratching my face. But I want them to learn new things on their own too as well, because the open mats really helped me. And drilling time really helped me when I was first doing jiu-jitsu. I can only imagine my coaches when I was at that level too. It's like real cringe.
They're like pulling their hair out.
It's like pulling their hair out. Like, Marco, you... Hold on, I just pressed the whiskey. Today we're drinking Ardbeg 10.
So how do you feel about parent sideline coaching?
Don't do it. Like, there's no room for parents to be like screaming at their kids when I'm trying to coach them. It could be frustrating to see your kid like get punched or kicked or thrown, and some kids like freeze up in those situations, especially when sparring, because we also teach kids MMA. And the kid will like freeze up or they're working through something, and maybe I'm telling them something, or maybe I'm letting them work through it on their own, and the parents yell out to the kids, and it could be very confusing and frustrating for the kids. So there should be only one voice directing. If I go to watch like a cousin play baseball or basketball, I'm not going to yell at him to do something because I'm not the coach.
Right.
Like, that coach should be instructing them what to do, and if they lose, that's them. Like, that's really what the coach is there to do, is to instruct them and to help them work through these problems. If you have like a parent who's yelling out to keep the hands up or to get out of the way, the kid can also feel like he's or she is doing something wrong. Right, and it could be really detrimental to the progression of the student's art, right? To them fighting. If you see your kids getting hurt on the mats, or they got hurt, you got punched kind of hard, you're not sparring, and you're not a professional. You're not a teacher. You're not a coach. And you see that they get hit hard, and you go, oh, that was too hard. Like, the coaches know. Like, we know there's never any rough sparring, never any rough rolling. Like, we can see it, so we'll talk to the kids. We'll let them know. We'll give them one warning. They're kids. We'll give them a second warning. If third time, they're done. They're not sparring anymore. But if you as a parent, like, say, like, hey, like, they hit you hard, you got to hit them hard back, then we're starting to escalate it.
Right.
That's absolutely not okay.
So what is backseat coaching?
Backseat coaching is when you're driving home and you have your kid in the back and you're telling them everything they did wrong. This happens a lot in like baseball, basketball, football.
Soccer.
Yeah, soccer, even jiu-jitsu. And what happens is like the parents, they might see something wrong and they talk about what the kid was doing wrong on the drive home. This could be really bad for the kid. It could be they could carry that like weight and stress the rest of the week until the next practice or till the next session, and It's something that kids, like a lot of kids, struggle with. You might think that you're doing a lot of good for your kids because you're helping them out, you're coaching them. But again, you're not the coach.
Especially if you're only like focusing on the negative parts of what they did. Like, and you're not reinforcing it with something good. It's just like, you should do this, 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 or this next time.
Yeah. You should always encourage them. Encourage. Like, let's say your kid was sparring with their hands down. Just be like, hey, you had really good footwork this time. I really love what you were doing. You're kicking, you're punching a lot. It was really good. And you don't even have to correct them. You could talk to the coach and ask the coach to, like, you call the coach. Call it when the kids are at school, or when there's a time where you could pull the coach aside and just tell them, like, hey, I have this concern. Whenever a parent comes up to me with a concern like that, I address it immediately or when it's appropriate, and we just make sure we take care of it.
Yeah.
You had backseat coaching when you were a kid, huh?
Yeah.
Again, Lynda was a child karate prodigy.
I was not a prodigy.
The lord of karate competition.
Oh my god.
And who was it, your mom or your dad that would like do backseat coaching?
It was my dad.
What would he say?
Oh, you just have to hit harder. You have to do this, or you have to get out of the way and then do this and this. And it's just like, Dad, chill. I already got anxiety. I don't like sparring at all. Don't add more pressure.
Was this only during competition or like after practice too?
Just tournaments.
Yeah.
Well, my old karate school was like old school. We practiced and trained for tournaments. We wanted to bring home as many medals as possible, gold medals, as many gold medals as possible.
Yeah, because silver and bronze are
not good enough.
They're crap.
Don't want them. Throw them away.
Yeah. But I mean, could you imagine doing like worlds,
Yeah.
like IBJF worlds or like ADCC and getting like silver or bronze, like out of how many competitors? That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
It's a huge deal. Yeah, you're the runner-up.
You just, weren't good enough.
But like if you're 8 and your dad's like, hey, that's not good enough, and like spits on you in the back seat. Yeah. I don't know if your dad did that,
but maybe I blocked it. I don't know.
Did that create a lot of anxiety for you?
Yes. To this day, I still don't like sparring. I'm really anxious when I roll.
Yeah.
Like stand-up sparring I don't like at all, and then rolling just gives me like anxiety.
So the other day I had Lynda fight me in front of the kids to show them how to spar. She kicked my butt.
No.
She kicked my butt up and down the mats. Child prodigy, now an adult prodigy. So
more anxiety.
So you think it's unfair for parents to do that?
Yes. If you are training for a tournament and this is something your kids want to do, and it's something they want or need, because that's what they want to do. They want to train specifically for tournaments. Then I would say, okay, go ahead. But if
get mad at them or coach them?
Not get mad, but like, hey, maybe you should do this.
You still don't feel like the coach should be doing that?
No, not at all. Why is the coach coaching the kid? What are you talking about? Parents know everything.
Yeah. It's like be encouraging still.
Yeah, still be encouraging.
Be like, hey, work on this, but not be like, hey, you were doing this wrong.
Yes. Be encouraging, especially if doing tournaments is what your kid wants to do.
I think there's already enough stress on people who are getting ready for a tournament.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like younger, even adults. Like and don't ever take any like smack from your teammates too. Like if they get mad at you for not placing at a tournament. It's a tournament. I was terrible at competing. Never placed. Like didn't win nothing.
Didn't win nothing.
Didn't win nothing.
It's okay, because at least you're not like the second loser, right?
I was the first.
You were the first loser.
I was the first one at the tournament to be the loser. But I had so much anxiety.
Yeah.
Like just crushing anxiety when I would step onto the mat. And I couldn't overcome that. But it's funny because I can coach students and teach students in my students' place.
Mm-hmm.
We're drinking Ardbeg 10. It's very peaty. Cheers.
What's PD?
Smoky.
Why couldn't you just say smoky? Oh, that tastes like barbecue.
It tastes like love.
What about bad coaches?
Like at a tournament?
Yes, in a tournament setting.
Yeah. I've seen a couple in jiu-jitsu tournaments, like they'll be yelling at their adult students, like, break the arm, break it. Like I've seen that a couple of times. Or I've even heard of like top level competitors, like their coaches yelling like, oh, he's no good, he's getting tired, and just like totally like degrading the other person, like to help their competitor keep going. Or I don't know if that's like a style of coaching or what that is, but I don't like it. You're paying to learn from a person. You're paying for their instruction. It's like if I pay for a coffee, I don't want them to use bad milk in it. Like, I mean, I'm paying to enjoy that. That student should leave. Like, they should not put up with that. If any of my students ever felt like my instruction was bad or felt like I was a shady person, I would expect them to go somewhere else. Right? And a lot of people, I feel like, fear to do that because of that, like, team mentality, like, or like you're a traitor. Like, no, you're paying for it. And the coaches need to understand that. Like, if you're a crappy coach, you're going to lose students. And if students want to leave because of, like, out of fear, you're an even worse coach.
That's borderline abusive.
Yeah, that is. It's like being in an abusive relationship.
That you're paying for.
Yeah, that you're paying for. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any instances of sideline coaching that maybe made your training go wrong, or you saw it happen at a tournament, or maybe you were doing a technique and your partner was helping you out completely wrong, please let us know. We'd love to hear your guys' stories.
Or maybe you were sideline coaching.
Yeah, or maybe it was you. Yeah, let us know down in the comments.
Yeah. If you enjoyed our video, go ahead and tap that like button. And if you want to follow us on our jiu-jitsu journey, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. Also, if you'd like to stay up to date with our future videos, go ahead and tap that notification button.
Remember, tap early, tap often, and we're tapping out.